Alright, so a brand new James McAvoy thriller movie released in theaters this past weekend. I had a chance to check it out. Here's my review. Alright, so Speak No Evil, it's a James McAvoy thriller movie. It's a remake of a Danish thriller movie from 2022. Did we really need a remake of a Danish movie 2 years later? I have not seen that Danish movie. I don't know anything about that Danish movie, but what I do know is I did see the new remake of Speak No Evil starring James McAvoy, and I'm here to tell you my review. But before I get started, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below. What is your opinions on the brand new thriller movie Speak No Evil if you have seen it? Or if you have not seen it, what are your expectations for it? Are you going to go see it? All that and more I want to know down below. Right down there, subscribe, like button, hit the bell so you never miss another video. And with that said, let's get started talking about Speak No Evil. And the first thing you want to talk about when you talk about this movie is that this is a perfectly generic thriller movie that is uplifted by a fantastic performance by, obviously, one James McAvoy. This is a thriller movie that, if you have seen any movie where a couple goes to a house, people in the house start doing weird things, then crap goes down in the third act. That's what this movie is. It doesn't stray too far from that other than like the twist. It's a perfectly generic one. I am a huge fan of this subgenre, so obviously I enjoyed it because I like thriller movies. I get a kick and an enjoyment out of movies like this one. And so that's kind of what I had here. I enjoyed the movie while also realizing it's perfectly generic. The big standout here is the cast. You got to talk about James McAvoy. I recently rewatched Split a month or so ago. God, he is such a good performer. The way he can be in that movie and then go around play Professor X and then play this charismatic psycho in this movie, because he is very much a charismatic psycho. The weird things he does is very cool, and the way he performs them is very cool. He's easily the standout of this movie. But Mackenzie Davis is also a huge standout as James McAvoy's wife. She's able to play like the, oh no, he hurts me, I don't actually like him side very well, to where I kind of didn't know who to believe. Oftentimes I found myself saying, I believe that she's not in on this plan. And then obviously something turns up and she is in on the plan, but I found her character and the performance by Mackenzie Davis to be pretty strong as well. I'm gonna grab my phone here because I have the rest of the cast names here just to make sure I pronounce them right. Aisling Franciosi? I think that's how you say her name. I am 95% certain I am screwing that up. She played Clara, who is the wife of the husband, who is played by Scott McNairy. I believe I said his last name right as well. But I also kind of liked her character. She always found reasonable reasons, made the uncomfortable situations worse than they already were. And what was so compelling about her character is that we're put through the eyes of her, so all this horrifying stuff put through the eyes of her. With Scott McNairy, easily the least favorite character because of his writing, this movie always finds ways to keep the characters there. Some of them found more compelling. A couple of them were because Scott McNairy and the husband is just not smart. Several times he's like, yeah, I know, honey, you're comfortable and the kid's uncomfortable, but you know what? I'm having a jolly old time playing pal with James McAvoy, who is clearly not right. And so his character was frustrating, but he did his best for what the script gave. Dan Ho, I believe I'm saying his last name right. It could be Hugh, but I'm going to say Ho because it could be. He played Ant in this movie, the little kid that can't speak. And for a kid that can't speak, that all he has to do is sign language, the fear he's able to convey is actually really good. I really liked art in this movie. And finally, Alex West Leffler. She plays Agnes, the daughter, and she is not the greatest character. She's not the greatest daughter character, but her performance was pretty solid as well. So an all-star cast overall. I think this is a very, very good cast. Like I kind of briefly mentioned talking about that, the movie always finds ways to keep our characters here, whether it's the creepy eeriness of James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis's characters trying to convince them to stay there. Either a tire has been slashed or the bunny rabbit's up there, or just they don't feel comfortable with the situation. The movie always finds ways to keep our characters here. So besides like one time, it wasn't like, oh, okay, just get in your car and leave. Specifically to the third act, as we head to the third act twist, there were several times where our characters actually tried to be smart, tried to be like, we need to skedaddle, we need to get out of here, we need to go. And the many times that our characters are actually smart in that situation, and the movie has found ways to convince them otherwise, to keep them there, to experience the horrifying stuff that was going to happen. I thought that was good. The third act twist, I think, was very good. The main problem with this movie is the trailers. We'll get on to that in a minute, but kind of the movie was kind of predictable. You kind of knew where it was heading. The only thing I didn't predict was the twist, and I did really enjoy the twist. And I think the whole third act overall, my palms were just sweaty. I was sweating all over. I was kind of freaking out during that third act. You know those situations where you're like, I don't want to see what's going to happen. I don't want to see. Yeah, as we head into the twist, that experience was going all over this movie for me, where I was just sitting there and I was squirming in my seat. I could not watch. I just wanted to get up and leave. Sometimes when I'm watching a horror movie at home, I'll pause it because the stressful situations are so stressful. In the theater, you can't pause it, and I could not pause this movie, and I was stressed out because the third act is kind of intense. Besides, like, the last 15-20 minutes where they're just walking around and hunting the people, there were times I genuinely believed that the characters would die, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. I mean, come on, you're not going to kill off the main characters. But the third act and leading into the twist, no spoilers, I thought was very intense. So overall, this is a perfectly generic thriller movie. And I think the main reason it's a perfectly generic thriller movie is because it feels like you've seen this before. And the main reason it feels like you've seen this before was the marketing. Do I appreciate seeing the trailer every theater, every movie I go to? Yes, because that means that the movie's getting marketed and it's trying its best to make money. Do I appreciate the trailers showing off the whole movie? No. Especially when we had two trailers. Both of them. This isn't a joke here. I'm going to tell you the scenes that we saw. We saw the scene where we realized that they're bad in the trailer. We saw the scene where the tires are slashed. The scene where they almost got hit by the vehicle. This is not spoilers because we've seen all this in the trailer. And that's not all. I could still be going, but I'm not going to. But we see so much in the trailers that it started to feel, watching this movie, like we were watching extended scenes of the ones in the trailers. Because it feels like a movie before. And until the third act, especially the twist, we knew what was going to happen. We knew exactly how they'd get there. Only thing we didn't know was what was actually wrong with James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis. That's the only thing that really surprised me, was the overall twist, why they're doing this. The rest of the movie was just a generic thriller movie. For me, huge fan of thriller movies. So I had a good enough time with this. I'm going to give this a positive score. I enjoyed watching this. I would watch it again. And the intense situations really work in here. But it's just like, feels like a movie that we've seen before because we see those trailers constantly in the theater. And the trailers that just show way too much. And again, we kind of touched on this earlier. The character of the husband, I really didn't like him. Where there was like one time where the daughter has a bunny rabbit that she likes. She's freaking out because of the bunny rabbit. And he's like, knows something's off, but he's like, screw it, I'm gonna turn around and go get the bunny rabbit. Multiple times where he just tells the wife, I don't trust you. I don't think that these people are crazy because they're my besties now. And I didn't much like his character. He was like the only stupid character in this movie was the dad. So he wasn't the best character. That's not really going to impact this movie, but I just felt like it was worth mentioning. So before I give you my final score of Speak No Evil, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what is your opinions on Speak No Evil. For me, Speak No Evil was a solid enough thriller movie. Yes, it does feel like we've seen it before. Yes, the trailers showed way too much. But I am a fan of thriller movies like this. I did enjoy this one. Great performance by James McAvoy, intense situations, and a fantastic twist propel this movie. I'm going to give Speak No Evil a B+. What is your opinions on Speak No Evil? Tell me that down below in the comment section. Stay tuned for the upcoming days. I'm going to have a summer movies tier list. That'll be my next video. Also, go check out my second channel. If you like football content, I'd be predicting the NFL. And with that said, thank you guys for clicking on this video. Subscribe to the Nerd Army. Peace out.